Potential stock market crash, Disney's new Lightning Lane Premier Pass, and Aldi's Thanksgiving deal. Today, I read an article on Yahoo Finance put out by Business Insider and written by Jennifer Soar, titled, Collapse Risks Loom as Markets Are the Most Fragile They've Been in 20 Years, Black Swan author Nassim Taleb says. The author of this article referenced Nassim Taleb as saying, the U.S. is in one of the most precarious investing environments in decades, and while some investors are cheering on the rally in stocks, he has his eye on a potential market collapse. Here are my initial thoughts. Note the author said a potential market collapse. No one has a crystal ball for what is going to happen. The author of this article referenced the fact that he is the author of the Black Swan book. Actually, he has several Black Swan books for sale. Sometimes I have to wonder if people like this individual like getting in the news to promote their books. Getting back to the article, the author referenced Nassim Taleb as saying, the current environment mirrors prior crashes, and he is focused on preparing for such an event. He said, stock prices look crazy. The U.S. economy has been confusing. World economies are more dependent on each other thanks to increased globalization, and the West is holding on to more debt than we can handle. Here are my thoughts. All of that may be true. Note I said may, but it doesn't mean the stock market will collapse. There are plenty of people who will tell you we will never see a stock market crash because central banks will intervene and take drastic measures to keep markets propped up. We've seen them go to extremes in our lifetimes. We also have circuit breakers in place and trading can be halted. We also have people continuing to pump money into the market every payroll cycle. Then, there is the election to consider. If Trump becomes president and rolls out some pro-business policies, we could see the market rise further. Trump is a hype man. He knows how to get some people, businesses, and traders really excited. With that said, there is always the Trump factor to consider when thinking about the market. I'm not saying we won't ever see a stock market crash in our lifetime. Anything is possible. It's probably more likely we will see a correction before a crash. But what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I read another interesting article today. This one was on yahoo.com, put out by CNN, and written by Natasha Chen, titled, Disney's new all-access skip-the-line plan can cost more than the park ticket does. According to the author, Disney is doing a pilot launch for something called the Lightning Lane Premier Pass. The pass will be priced per person per day based on date and demand that can range from $137.39 to $478.19 after tax. In California, at Disneyland, the pass will be $400, which is not taxable. This is per person and per day from October 23rd through the end of 2024. Variable pricing will begin in 2025 and will range between $300 to $400. As I read this article, the thing I couldn't believe is not every attraction has a lightning lane. There are 55 attractions at the 4 Disney World parks and 24 at the 2 Disneyland parks. Well, my friends, I am not a fan of variable pricing based on demand. Wendy's previously announced plans to test something that they called dynamic pricing, and that created quite the stir online. I don't think some Americans like variable pricing or dynamic pricing, or whatever fancy name you want to come up with for it. In my opinion, this is similar to what some apartment operators have been using. They have market rate, which changes based on an algorithm. I have to wonder when we are going to see this move to the car industry. Can you imagine seeing digital window stickers on cars with pricing that changes all the time? I never liked those digital price tags at Kohl's. I haven't shopped there in a long time, so I don't even know if they still use them. I'm not saying Kohl's was using dynamic pricing or variable pricing. I was just making reference to those little digital price tags that they had. I could see a lot of retailers having variable pricing on their items. Walmart announced this year they will be testing digital shelf labels in a Texas store to make price changes to over 100,000 items on shelves. The world is certainly getting interesting. Now, I read some of the comments beneath this article about Disney's variable pricing. I'll share some of them with you. The first commenter said, "I am perfectly fine with this, but get rid of those other type of lightning lanes. Every amusement park has a pretty expensive skip the line option. The problem with Disney is that their skip the line program was actually inexpensive, but expensive enough to be a burden for a lot of families. So it has made the regular lines way longer than they used to be, and they let in so many more lightning lane people compared to regular line people that not only do you have to wait longer in the line, but you get the distinct feeling from Disney that you are a second-class citizen at their parks. There never used to be a haves versus the have-not feeling at Disneyland, and that feeling is very strong now." The next commenter said, "I have been to Disney, both places, and paying extra is not appealing. I will never pay to stand in lines and watch others who pay extra move ahead of me while I wait extra time to let those paying extra move ahead." The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, "Disney used to be a fantastic place for kids to visit, but not anymore. Hundreds of dollars, and with the long lines, you may get to ride 4 or 5 rides per day. Sadly, the value just isn't there anymore. I would never go back again." I'm curious, what do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I read another interesting article today. This one was on CNN, written by Jordan Valinsky, titled, "Aldi says its Thanksgiving meal prices will undercut Walmart as shoppers search for value." According to the author, the low-priced grocery chain is rolling out an inflation-busting holiday meal priced at $47 that feeds 10 people, which comes out to $4.70 per person. That's about $2 cheaper than a similar offer at Walmart, indicating Aldi is ready to take on its larger rivals as it expands its store count and market share across the U.S. Aldi's meal includes a butterball turkey, gravy, rolls, macaroni and cheese, stuffing, plus ingredients to make cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, a sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole, and pumpkin pie. Well, my friends, this sounds like a pretty good deal for $47. In the world that we live in, some people spend more than that at a restaurant for 2 people. There are some restaurants where an entree for 1 person can cost more than $47. Throw in a non-alcoholic drink and the tip, and you are way over that. It's nice to hear that Aldi is offering something that many Americans can afford during this period of high inflation when wages haven't always kept pace with the rising cost of goods and services. I've shopped at Aldi before. It's different, I'll say that. I never liked having to use a quarter for a shopping cart. The last time I was in an Aldi store, it also felt like a maze, where I was being directed down the main aisle. I'm not a hamster in a maze. I just prefer the layout of a traditional grocery store, but that's just my personal preference. I'm not trying to discourage you from shopping at Aldi. You may appreciate their pricing and store layout. Each person is uniquely different. I'm curious, what do you think about Aldi's inflation-busting holiday meal? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.